time for a best of 7. Hopefully the players know. Best of 7 upper bracket finals, and because Gibbs is so excellent as introing our teams, he's going to take it away for the first few seconds here.
We got Afterthought, guys. The team probably a lot of people didn't think was going to be here as the, I believe, 11 or 12 seed. Well, they did win the December Cup, the Renegade Cup, versus other rival series hopefuls, so they're looking pretty good. And Rizzo decides to ruin my intro of this team. Chicago to JKnaps to Rizzo. All three members getting involved. Great shot from him. But look out for these guys because they've been looking good. They just actually lost Zolhe. So Zolhe is gone from the team, and they've been using Mist now. So that's a new addition for the squad. But it's obviously working out pretty well so far. And again, best of 7. Whoever wins this, they go to Vegas. Whoever loses this has one more chance at another best of 7 to make it much later on tonight. After the whole lower bracket plays out, they will play the last remaining team for a spot in Vegas. And of course, we have G2, who we just saw, the new addition, Chicago. He came out pretty big towards the end with the pass to JKnaps. Game 5, 0 seconds to win it. And Chicago almost puts one home there. It just goes off the post. But like Afterthought's been waiting for probably a good 30 to 45 minutes. We'll see how warmed up they are coming into this. And G2, they just came off their series win, so they should be relatively warmed up.
Yeah,
probably big favorites here too.
Yeah, and you know, I love the early goal. Like you almost have to have it, especially for G2 after such a close series where they almost lost. Like they were down in that series. And they get an early goal. I almost think you have to do it. So I feel like as JKnaps gets another one there. So I feel like after that game, after that match, they're like, all right, guys, this is it. Best of 7, this is upper finals. Let's go out fast and hard, and let's score right away. I mean, I think that's what you have to do. And a great start here, up 2-0 with just a minute and a half down. So G2, just perfect start. As Chicago gets another one.
Yeah, there's another one right off kickoff, and it's just all the pressure from G2. So winning these 50-50s, winning a clean kickoff, and 3-0 is not the way you want to start for Afterthought. They don't want to become an afterthought to G2 early on in the series, but game number 1 looks like it's shutting down a bit, but we still have 3:30 left, so if Afterthought can get a goal relatively quickly, they're still alive. And right here we see Mist trying for the shot. He decided to shoot instead of going to Hockser for the pass, where maybe they would have had a better scoring opportunity. Rizzo, though, with the miss, and JKnaps will get the clear.
Can you break down real quick the run that Afterthought has had to get here?
Sure,
if
yeah,
you have
no
it
problem.
handy.
So Afterthought has taken out 2 RLCS teams already. They swept Bread. Then they took down Rogue, who has the new addition of Kurnovi.
Was that a reverse sweep? Yeah, that was reverse.
I think that was reverse.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Pretty sure. So this would have been Rogue versus G2 if Rogue had taken
It was
out
a reverse sweep, yeah.
Afterthought.
So that's insane. Like, you go down 2-0 to Rogue, an RLCS team that's looking strong with a great roster move for them. And not only did they reverse sweep, they shut them out in all 3 games. 4-0, 2-0, and 3-0.
Jeez.
Then they took out Nefarious, and right here we see another goal from G2, just looking really strong. And Nefarious, they took out Evil Geniuses and the old Rogue squad of Perfect Storm, who now has Chrome instead of Sizz. So they took out them 3-0 in the sweep in the semifinals. So they've been waiting a while, and they basically shut them down too. They only allowed 2 goals in those 3 games. So the defense from Afterthought has been there. But as you can see, this is a whole nother level when you play against G2, who's up already 4-0, which is more goals than they've seen like over the past 7 games that Afterthought has played. So
What was the series score in the last match for Afterthought?
3-0 sweep.
Okay, so they swept to get here. Yeah. Great results.
Yeah, they won 6 games in a row and only gave up 2 goals.
How much of this team? Sorry, how much of this team have you seen or are you experienced with at least?
I personally haven't seen them much. I haven't seen a lot of Renegade Cups, but they did win the December Renegade Cup by sweeping the Peeps.
Okay,
so that's a really big result. Gotcha. So they are definitely a team worth watching when we go through the rival series qualifiers. And who knows, maybe we'll see them at Vegas as well. They still are in this series. It's a best of 7. One game is not going to kill you.
I am just so thrilled for them to just be here right now.
Oh,
like,
sure.
holy
so much
cow,
experience
man!
here for this. This is great.
This is the upper final. This is the upper final. Afterthought, just amazing stuff today to get to this point. And you know, G2 as well, obviously with the roster move. So it comes down to this for both these two teams. Keeping an eye on the chat, by the way. Thanks guys for hanging out in the chat. Someone said my audio was a little too high. Hopefully that's okay, or at least a little better. Keep your feedback coming. But yeah, I mean, just amazing that they got here. And I'm really excited to see what they have in store for us. I mean, for now, obviously they're down 0-4. But, you know, looking to see what they use to take down all these other teams.
And it's just been a crazy bracket just in general, because, like, the quarterfinals, we almost left the quarterfinals with no teams left from the RLCS at all.
Yeah.
There was 2 Game 5s where G2, they took down the Peeps in Game 5, and Ghost took down a Revelation that was on stream in Game 5 in a reverse sweep. But if those results went the other way, we would have a very low seed no matter what going to Vegas. So it's been a very hectic day for all these teams. And the RLCS team is a little bit of a wake-up call that there's teams nipping at their heels from teams from like the rival series or below them. And we saw that at promotion where all 4 teams in NA in Europe, they all got demoted. And these teams have to wake up a little bit. It's the first major tournament of 2019, so it's going to be a little bit of those cobwebs. But G2 is looking very strong.
Especially coming off the holidays as well.
Yeah.
I know I had some good food. I'm sure you had
just
some nice.
Just too much turkey, just too much ham.
Maybe not as much practice. I know Gibbs went on a little cruise.
I did go on
I don't know if that was confidential or whatever, but now the people know. But yeah,
and
man,
Giblet
I mean,
hated camp.
and obviously, like, that's important. Time off and chilling and hanging out. And
yeah.
But that's the balance you have to hit when you're a professional Rocket League player. Taking those breaks, but also being ready for when the tournaments happen. So,
and also, why it's so important to like make your roster moves early, like if possible.
Oh, for sure.
Like G2 kind of knew that they wanted Chicago, but they only got what 1 week's worth of scrims in that were like really good. So who knows, you know? Like if you can make those roster moves a little bit earlier, so you get more practice. We see like EG falling early because Drip A just moved to North America, so they didn't get a lot of practice in.
Yeah,
and that's gonna bite you.
I almost think I think we talked about it a little earlier, but you can't have a break with how many tournaments are happening, with all the Rocket League happening all the time. You almost can't really take a break. Maybe a week at the most. That's just the way it is if you want to succeed and be a professional Rocket League player. People are like, oh, it's too hard. I mean, you know, you got to take those breaks. You got to, and as a guy, you know, Gibbs, for you too, like we have a lot to do usually with Rocket League, so it's important for us to take breaks. And for me, maybe that was right after the World Championship where we're like, all right, no Rocket League for 2 weeks. I'm done. But then after that, it's all day, every day. And I think the pros, you got to think like that. Short break.
On that.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Did not get a flip reset. It looked like he got it, but he never flipped it. So I guess it was a 3-wheeler, which those are the worst. Like when you're going for one of them and you're like, I definitely got all 4 wheels on this, but
I can't
somehow
relate. Can't relate as much to that one, Gibbs. But
I mean, to be fair, I can't either. But every time I try for it, it's a 3-wheeler. So maybe I'm just doing something wrong.
I've like almost done a few. I'm getting there as a Champ 2 ladder hero. I'm getting to those moments, but
see, I just don't go for them.
Yeah.
That's how I win games, because everyone else is going for them.
I had a ceiling shot pass the other day that was amazing, just between us. But but anyway, yeah, we're so look out. But I'm a little surprised G2 doesn't have anything on the board quite yet. Afterthought really stepping up a bit better in this game number 2.
A lot better.
Yeah. So
because
we'll
like G2 spanked them in game 1. Like there was no question. Like it was all G2. So Afterthought, like this is exactly what they needed. You know, maybe game 1 a little bit of warm up again with that momentum, where like, Afterthought was not playing for 30 to 45 minutes. Like sometimes that happens, but like this is a good sign for Afterthought. Like in a long series, to be competitive versus G2 in game number 2.
And if they could get a goal, just put a little cherry on top of this great play. I mean, holding it at 0 and then make them scared. I think that's the goal here for Afterthought, especially with how poorly game 1 went. But there's Chicago. G2 Chicago. A great read. Rizzo with the initial pressure. And actually, great pass there. Great pass there from Rizzo. Knowing where Chicago was and just flicking it over to him off the wall. Nice goal.
And then immediately he turns for the net and looks for more bumps. He didn't get any, but still, that threat is always there with Rizzo, just going for the goals.
So many weapons on this G2 team, as has always been. Kronovi was a huge weapon when he was on this squad, and now Chicago just adding to the punches that are available for this G2 team, showing it. And that's a 1-0 advantage in this game number 2. This is a nice best of 7 though, folks. Very important match. That's why it's a best of 7. And the winner of this match goes to Vegas to participate in WSOE4.
$100,000 prize pool for that. So there's no prizes here, but you're guaranteed money there, and you can get a lot of that money very well versus the best.
Yeah, you are guaranteed money just by qualifying. So a bit of a money match here, I guess, in a certain vein. But
and just that experience for a team like Afterthought to probably go to their first LAN that everyone's going to be watching, like, that's huge.
I think for any, before this tournament even started, I don't know the odds, but like it is almost impossible to make it through this bracket and not be an RLCS team. I think. I really think so, because there's, what, 6 RLCS teams playing?
Yeah.
So for 2 of those teams not to make it through would be ridiculous and amazing, but it could happen. Anything can happen, as we see Shock.
Yeah, he got that wide open net because it looked field side foot from JKnaps. I think JKnaps got surprised by the weird touches that came out right before it, and it just like opened up for Shock, and I think JKnaps had to try and hurry. He was playing a little too much, and he did a little field side flip, and Shock, he puts it home when it's needed, and you got a tie game here. And Afterthought, they are going to have to steal 1 or 2 games somewhere, and this could be one of them where, like, it's been close, but like these close games, you have to beat G2. Like, G2 can afford to lose a close game because they're probably going to have 1 or 2 more blowouts here. But every time it's close, this is where Afterthought has to win, because that's how you start getting that upstep potential.
Yeah, just a minute left here. Tie game number 2, 1-1. G2 up in the series, 1-0. Afterthought would love a goal here. They would love to try to equalize this series, but Rizzo has other things on his mind, trying to launch it up to the ceiling, back down towards the goal, but Shock is there on defense. Chicago trying to finish it off. JKnaps in a great spot, and now this is G2 pressure showing itself. Chicago pouring it forward. Rizzo, actually a great clear there from Afterthought. Rizzo having to scurry back to get that one. But G2 with a lot of pressure in the past minute. Let's see if they can finish one here, or as you said, if Afterthought can sneak in here, get a goal, and take a game.
There we go. We have a dribble play. He has got to do it early because Rizzo landed
backflip
right on top of him. Hockser almost puts it home and missed with the center to Shock. JKnaps wins that one out, though. But one more chance here from Hockser. And try and throw it mid. Missed a little bit of a free jump. Nothing coming. Now here's his chance.
You see, JKnaps is just like, what are you guys trying to do? You can't. This is what I do. You can't do that. He puts it to the ground, and now we have overtime. And this could be a nice overtime here for Afterthought. If they can get a goal here, that's a win for them. And that's one step closer.
Like, this feels like a must-win right here for Afterthought. Because if they go down 2-0 when it was this close of a game that they could have won, I think it's going to be very hard to battle back versus this team of just complete like craziness on G2. With Chicago, like a star, like top 10 player in the world possibly. With JKnaps and Rizzo like as well. Like, these guys are top 10, top 20 in the world. To take them to a 1-1 series and then stay alive is exactly what Afterthought needs.
And we know they have resilience too, because they reverse swept Rogue. They were down 0-2 against Rogue, and they were able to come back. So definitely don't count this team out, ladies and gents. Afterthought trying to get a victory here in this game number 2 would be massive for them. Alternatively, if G2 can finish up this game and go up 2-0, can they be caught?
Nice fake there from Shock, but he got bumped just slightly on that wall, so he couldn't keep up that pressure. Now Rizzo should be able to get it by him. Can he get it by 2? No, he cannot, but it looks like G2 is going to contain somewhat of possession, but it's going back and forth right now throughout this midfield.
JKnaps keeping the pressure forward. Chicago trying to pass it over to Rizzo, but Shock is there on defense with the clear. Rizzo with about 40 boost, trying to do what he can. Chicago pitching it to the middle. JKnaps is there, back to Chicago, off the ceiling. This should be a goal, and it is. JKnaps reading it perfectly. And that's just the waterfall that we're seeing from JKnaps in Chicago and that we've been seeing. Get those two on the offense and look out. There might be a goal coming. And JKnaps finishing it off, and G2 goes up 2-0.
And it feels bad for Hockser there. He makes that miracle save. He makes that save. He reads it pretty well, but he has no chance to try and figure out where to place that ball. It's just going to rebound off him, and he's got to hope for the best. And obviously it fell right back down to JKnaps because that was an incredible pass and play from JKnaps to Chicago for a threatening shot. And JKnaps gets lucky a little bit, but he gets that finish, and that's because you force out these bad rebounds. And plays like that will do it. And again, we see JKnaps in Chicago. On the offensive side, these passes have been incredible from what we've seen through these two series. And we saw them earlier kind of freestyling on people, but these games are serious now. This is for Vegas. They're up 2-0. Everyone expects G2 to make this. They're supposed to win this series. Now they just got to finish it out.
All right, here we go. Game number 3. If you're just now tuning in, this is a best of 7. These are the best Rocket League teams in the world, and we're doing this again tomorrow. But this is a best of 7 to find out who's going to Las Vegas to compete in the $100,000 WSOE4 Rocket League Showdown. Thanks for hanging out. I see you guys in the chat, and I see a lot of not so great people in the chat spamming and not saying nice things. So I need to give some swords out. So if you're an upstanding individual and someone recognize you, I need to give some very important swords to people that take care of all this shenaniganry in the chat. Thank you very much. But those of you in the chat who are participating in shenaniganry, thank you for hanging out. But you got to chill out there. We can't spam too much, We don't want to be too messy. But yes, very important match here. G2 up 2-0, trying to secure a trip to Vegas as I reward some swords to the rightful people in the chat.
Grab your swords. Oh, what a pass. Oh, but again, just some desperation defense right now from Afterthought, but they're making the saves, but it might be a little too late. Finally, the wall cracks and JKnaps scores. Just great scoring chances after great scoring chances for G2. And their shots were so deadly that it was just rebound after rebound that they would keep possession, and Afterthought had no chance. And eventually, after a minute, Afterthought's probably happy that went in, so they can restart on this kickoff and maybe get some possession back, because that was a struggle for sure.
Yeah, and that's exactly what G2 wants. Get that goal, just get it on the board, and then go from there. And by the way, I have rewarded the mighty sword to the deserved individuals in the chat, so thank you for helping keep the chat nice and clean and spam free.
But what if it was a Cloud Fuel with a 0? Actually,
I would be very confused and I would have to ask him a question only Cloud Fuel would know.
JKnaps puts another one home, and looks like we had a demo at... Oh, guess what? It's Rizzo. Just hunting for people in the net. Chicago's just gonna lightly tap it. Rizzo, man, he doesn't look deadly, but when he's in Rocket League, man, watch out. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because Rizzo is coming for you, man. Oh my God.
It's awesome. We're seeing a lot of physical play from Rizzo, a lot of really confident play, and you got to think, okay, with Chicago and JKnaps there, just the offensive force that they are becoming. I'm almost Rizzo might be thinking, hey, if I just demo someone, the odds are pretty good here. And that's not a bad way to play with Chicago and JKnaps right there, ready to pounce. So Rizzo doing lots of good things, and this team, it's looking pretty good.
Man, that was awkward too there for Afterthought. All three kind of around the ball, and then Chicago just puts it home. It's that's just icing on the cake right now for this series. Another bump in net. Chicago just bullying out Mist here. And G2 is running away with this. I said there would be more blowouts for G2. That's why after to win those close games, here's another blowout. Yeah. And now it's looking like Afterthought might have to win 4 in a row.
What's the term? Give them something, they'll take a mile or whatever. That's what they do.
Yeah,
they
give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
There it is. Yeah, that's it. And they just have that ability, extend that lead. They're superstar players. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the most important part of the series might have been the last game. We're so close. Afterthought needed to come up with the victory there. But now this is tough. They're in a hole, down 0-4, down 0-2. G2 is looking in form. And we don't necessarily know what that form is because it's a new team, but it's looking like they're in form to me.
Yep, and that's after what, a week of scrims, then they'll have a couple to get a lot more scrims in and a lot more practice in before going to Vegas. So guys looking deadly.
Yeah, it's important here to play calm, play safe, play your style. Don't necessarily break away from, doing what you do. Who cares if you win 8-0? All that matters right now is getting that trip to Vegas and doing it however possible.
And they want redemption for that Las Vegas trip, that's for sure. At the World Championships, going 0-2 out, then they didn't get to go to E-League the last time we saw Kronovi, like in a G2 uniform, so. Now they have Chicago. It's a new age for G2, but this new age, like, they're still doing what they do best, but Hockser at least gets one back here, Shock with the pass. Hockser with the speed here, which is great to see when you can outpace a team like G2. Rizzo tried to pre-jump a little bit early there, trying to make the play, and I think that's why that opened up the doors for Hockser, but I think G2's having a little bit of fun. But don't let Afterthought back in this game, like, just shut them down now.
Yeah, I love that.
You never know. You never know.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I love that little play, the great awareness from both players, sending it to the middle, and right place, right time for the teammate to turn that into a scoring opportunity. So keep looking out for those. And obviously still a huge mountain to climb here, but
I see what you did there.
It's possible. I honestly though, G2, they're just looking good, man. They're looking really good. So I'm hard pressed to see a comeback happen, not only in this game but in the series, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like Afterthought probably ran out of steam with that great bracket run, just a little bit, and maybe it's just G2's on some other level,
It's a ridiculous bracket run by Afterthought, and they'll certainly be turning a lot of heads now. And they're not out of it just yet. They just reverse swept Rogue, and they did it by sweeping them, as I think you mentioned. So
they reversed up Rogue, and then they swept Nefarious. Yeah, so they're coming in on a 6-game winning streak. But again, like, these guys are in the lower final. Say they lose this series, they're in the lower final.
Let's just watch this one unfold here. Rizzo and Chicago both in the air, and it's to the point where they can just do that, I guess. That was it's pretty beautiful.
When G2's feeling it, man, they always make a showcase.
Yeah.
Goals are always extremely pretty, and they're having fun. That's for sure. Like, this is starting to look like the series that we saw earlier from G2 before I was casting with you, where they're just having fun.
Yeah.
Chicago, just a double tap, whatever, easy peasy.
So, okay, Mr. Gibbs, I mean, we're kind of seeing this unfold. What are you thinking about G2 compared to the rest of the teams in RLCS, based on what we've seen today? I know it's not much, but
to be fair, they had to beat Ghost in a 0-second goal in game number 5.
That's true.
It feels like that was probably the upper final, as of now. Like, that was a very close series. Like, there's still more games to be played. And Afterthought, they've had a great run, but G2 definitely looks a class above a team like Afterthought. And Afterthought has taken out some other great teams. So the other teams, I think, might just need a little bit more time, while G2 is just firing on all cylinders right away, which is perfect because this event is so important to get your trip to Vegas to participate for $100,000.
There it is.
And G2, they don't have a lot of land wins at all through 2018, except for DreamHack early on in 2018. They only had one win, and that was against Excel after that in 3 land visits. So they want to go back to a LAN and start winning games again. And that's, like, right now, they're looking like they will be a force to be reckoned with versus the best in the world.
G2 one win away from getting a spot in the WSOE4 Rocket League Showdown. A G2 without Kronobi. They brought in Chicago from Evil Geniuses, and boy, are they looking good. As we advance on into potentially the last game of this series.
Yeah.
But do not count out Afterthought. There might be a few teams that maybe saw this team and said, okay, this will be fine. But they were slaying teams left and right as the number, 15 seed?
I believe they are number 12.
Number 12 in the teens. Certainly not in the top 5. Not necessarily expected to be in the upper final here. Number 11 seed. So G2 needs to keep it up. Keep on the pressure. Do not let up.
Oh, for sure.
And honestly, score quickly. Score quickly.
And they've seen the bracket. Like, Rogue was up 2-0, and then they never against Afterthought again. And Afterthought won 3 in a row to take them down. Because this could have been Kronovi battling against his his former teammates, but Afterthought, they reverse swept them, and it was all because of their defense. So we'll see if they can hold G2 down. It looks like that G2 is just way too talented that they cannot be shut out right now. That's what it seems like. But we'll see if Afterthought can clean up that defense and start from there. Like that's their strength. So make the defense work. Never mind.
You know, it's...
Rizzo just shuts me up. It's fine. It's fine, Rizzo.
It's like...
See how it is.
G2, they're kind of controlling the game, and they've been kind of controlling the series. It's the ball's in their court. Like, they're doing what they want. So Afterthought needs to be the wrench here. They need to figure something out to break up this groove, be that wrench in this engine, in this system that G2 is being so successful with, and figure out a way to disrupt what's going on. That's the only thing they can really do right now, and then go from there. Yeah. So we'll see if they can come up with some sort of an answer, but they're running out of time.
Yep. So far, 90 seconds in, they have 0 shots. And G2 only has 2, to be fair, but they have scored. And some way, Afterthought's going to have to find some offense and also hold off G2 in this incredible offense that they've been showing all series to maybe 1, maybe 2 goals at most to try and win this game. And then they have to do that 3 more times after this. So it's definitely a tall order.
There's no easy road. I mean, you would say this is their chance, but again, G2 is looking so good. Was there ever a chance here? I'm not so sure.
And Afterthought, they will be in the lower final, but they're going to have to wait a really long time. Like, that's going to be like probably 2 to 3 plus hours where they have to sit and wait for their second chance at Vegas.
Yep.
And right here, we see another one where Shock tries to make a save, but the quality of shots from G2 have been insane. And it's just forced and bad rebounds out, and JKnaps just cleans it up. But again, yeah, they're going to have to wait a long time to see action again. So Afterthought is probably going to have to take a little bit of a break and then come back and re-warm up. And I'll get ready for another grueling best of 7.
Yeah.
For like a lifetime, for a chance of a lifetime for these guys. Because we see here Hockser, a great pass out from Shock, and he puts it home, and that's what they need. But, like, they've never been to an event like this where they would be showcased like crazy. It would be a top 10 team, be the best teams in the world, where they get so much experience, and they get to, like, experience just hanging out with everyone, too, because, like, that's always fun as well. So, like, it'd be awesome for them, but G2 has other plans right now.
Yeah, looking to be in great form, and we saw the answer, though. Great save as well, as you mentioned, but... Yeah. We saw the big bump. We saw a demo. Maybe that's part of it. Get those bumps in. Get those demos in. Throw G2 off. Throw them off. I don't know how. I'm not playing them. But you got to figure something like that out. Throw them off. Try to figure out a new game plan. And really get some momentum on your side of things. That's what you got to do here. But, it's how do you break apart something that's working so well right now for G2?
Yeah, Mist was hunting a little bit earlier, but then he missed both demos, and then it was just pass and play out, and G2 gained possession, and then Mist had like very limited boost on the defensive side. Luckily, they got out of it, but it's got to be a little bit cautious. Like, obviously going for demos is a huge risk as well, so they got to be a little bit careful, but they definitely have to try something. We see here Hockser going for the seal and touch. He actually passes that down beautifully.
Should be a goal.
Could turn into a goal. Oh, it should have been a goal. That was like one of those that you feel like Hockser earned with that incredible pass and play. But no dice, and G2 clears it away.
They still got this offense. Yeah,
there it is.
I was about to say, I'm like, all right, this is just one of those, just pressure, goal. It's got to happen at some point, and there it is.
And that was just a brilliant play from Hockser to set up all that with the ceiling touch to, like, off the curve of the ceiling to just start that great possession where G2 has to panic on defense, make really tough saves, and eventually the ball falls in. And we might have to see incredible plays like that again from Afterthought to score on this G2 team. Yeah. And again, at the same time, while not letting up anymore.
Yeah. And, almost opportunity there. But, being up 3-0 with some nice wins in the series might be a good time for some teams to be happy and feel good. But I think that would be a big mistake for G2. Now is not the time to feel happy. Now is not the time to feel good. Now is the time to just amp it up even more and just secure your last win.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Touch there from Rizzo on that wall where He tried to bring it back in. Like I think he wanted to try it and like bring it up around the wall, but it popped out, and then he actually like double jumped aerialed and actually went way beyond the ball on accident. And a little bit of a mistake there, but like, we've seen a few of those from Rizzo, but then he always backs up with some incredible play on the offensive side. So we'll see. Maybe he can bounce back. But Afterthought, they have a lead. I think this might be their first lead. So this is a good sign for them. And if they get one game, why not do that 3 more times? You know?
Yep, keep it up. 30 seconds to go. And G2, they might be a little frustrated. Like, all right, we just want to be done. You know,
exactly, right?
We want to go.
Like it's been a long day that they've been playing.
I got
since
stuff to do.
For like 6 hours?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they have to maintain a nice mental framework, I suppose, and
nice big.
not let this one get away. Chicago hitting it the wrong way, going for a back pass. Rizzo trying to do something with it. JKnaps not able to keep it up. And, all right, Afterthought getting a game win.
Ooh, and here's an upset alert. Splice is out of the tournament. Losing 3-1 to Poggers. Not even sure who's on Poggers. We'll check it real quick.
Interesting.
Poggers, Ajax, Joe Freshness, and Ralph.
Oh, Ralph from
Dudes fame.
From the Dudes back in the day?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Solid team.
So,
but,
yeah, Poggers won 3-1.
You know.
They're playing Rogue next.
Ah. Interesting.
And all the other RLCS teams are still alive. Evil Geniuses beat Honduras. Bread beat Question Mark in a sweep. But Evil Geniuses went to 5 versus Honduras. They're playing the Peeps now. Bread is playing Revelation, who we saw a lot on stream earlier.
Yep.
And Perfect Storm and Compadres are going to be battling in a little bit too. So there's your bracket update.
Yeah. Hey, that's you know, that's definitely tough for Spice. That's as tough as it gets. I know they had high expectations coming into this, not only this tournament, this year.
Yeah.
And they want to get started off.
They didn't have a roster move, so they're like, there's less excuses around that, you know, where it's like it's the same roster. So that's got to be not the greatest loss for them, but
as we see JKnaps get a nice goal there to himself. Why not? Just pass it to himself.
Just wide open midfield there where JKnaps can just like tap it around.
And yeah, we saw the series here on stream between Splice and Revelation. And I believe Splice was actually up. And they kind of lost. They kind of lost.
Yeah, that was the first track of the day. They're up 2-1, and then Revelation won last 2.
Right.
Well, the first series for me for today, because Axel's been here all day. Kudos to you.
Yeah, that you're talking about the one I'm remembering for sure, where they were on the verge of potential qualifying, but then they lost, and now they just lost the lower bracket. That's tough. But hey, DreamHack qualifiers next week. I'm sure they'll be up for that. And back and better than ever. So we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, G2 trying to close down this series. If you're just now tuning in, you're watching the NA Open qualifier for WSOE4, the Rocket League Showdown, $100,000 tournament in Las Vegas, January 26th and 27th. The top 2 from this tournament, double elimination, best of 5, will advance. We are also doing this tomorrow for Europe, so the top 2 from Europe can do it as well. I believe Europe, I think signups are open for another hour, I want to say. So keep an eye on that. Europe action tomorrow. But this match is deciding our first team who will advance. The winner of this best of 7 goes to Vegas. Currently, G2 up 3-1, and they're up 1-0. And look at this, the ball heading towards the net, up 2-0. Rizzo gonna tap that in. G2, they're trying to say enough is enough. We're done playing games. We have things to do today.
I'm
want
a
to
little
book our ticket.
I wanted a turtle goal, Rizzo. What's going on?
Yeah.
That's exactly where you do a turtle.
Throw a penalty on that. Excessive celebration. I don't know. Oh, if anyone has tickets to the Cowboys-Rams game and has a box, I would love to go. Just throwing it out there.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if Troy Aikman's watching or something.
Oh, of course.
NFL playoffs this weekend, but I just had to get that in there. I might mention that again before the stream is over. But anyway,
I get it. You have to plug stuff. It makes sense.
You never know. There could be a really wealthy person watching who has the nicest box at the Rams-Cowboys game, And
Very
like,
handsome
all right,
person, too.
All right, Axel Toss, come on down, man. You never know. But anyway, again, G2 trying to book their ticket to Vegas, and they can do it right now. They just have to close it down in this game. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
We're halfway through, and honestly, at this point, we need a goal from Afterthought in the next, I would say, like a minute. Just keep this like close enough where you can try and steal this game. They won last game. It was a very close game. They had one earlier when it went to overtime that they could have won. That could have been a whole different series because it could have been 2-2 right now. Instead, it's 3-1, and G2 has looked mostly like in control. But Afterthought, they're still battling, which is nice to see.
Yeah, it's not like a 3-0 here. Yeah, there's an answer. It's not a blowout just yet from G2, as we saw from them in I believe game 2.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-1 ordeal.
And that was just a misread from Chicago where those ceiling curves are so hard to read exactly where the ball's going to go. And he just misread it a bit, and Shot got the pass out. So, but the kickoffs, you can't give him a free kickoff goal. JKnaps missed. That's just a poor touch. Like, simple as that. Like, the ball was creeping up on him. He could have, like, maybe jumped a little bit or tried to control it more or get a power clear. He did none of those. He hit it straight up, and JKnaps read it like a bug from them.
Yeah.
Just the double tap in.
And for these
insult
guys,
to injury.
that's just like the simplest goal they could ever hit, a double touch. For us mortals, it'd be like a few times, but if they hit it every time, JKnaps will never miss that shot. Right, yeah, Chicago coming through here. It's just, I'm just wondering what their comms are like. If, like when they hit nutty shots, they're not really, they don't really react the same. They're probably just like, oh, nice shot. Whereas we'd be like, that was amazing. But these guys, they're just that good.
Oh, big save there though from Shock. At least keeping them alive. They're only down 2. But again, they're going to need something quick. Just bring that momentum back. But like right now, it's just G2's in full control.
And that's where they want to be. With 70 seconds left, they're in complete control of their own destiny right now. They can hold on to this win. They're going to Vegas. This tournament started with 550 registered players, around 150 teams, and only 2 can go. And G2, trying to be the first here, only a minute away from booking their ticket to Vegas to play in WSOE4. JKnaps, a pass down to Chicago. The defense is there, but Rizzo turning around, having a little fun.
Playing everything.
Trying to pop it over.
Row for him. He's just trying to waste time.
Yeah, for sure. Any second you can waste is a good thing here.
Yeah.
Strategy through and through here from G2, holding on, trying to hold on to this 3-1 victory. They can feel it, they can sense it, they can taste it. But you don't want to give into that just yet. You got to finish this. Don't let anything in. Don't leave any opportunities. Don't leave any doubts whatsoever.
And with all the upsets in the bracket, with all these teams dropping down, and how everyone thought maybe the big 3 era is over, well, so far with a commanding win here. And they will be going to Vegas as your 3rd North American team, joining Cloud9 and NRG. And for Afterthought, they will have one more chance in the lower final. But for now, G2 with Chicago, one of the big roster moves in the offseason. They have done what they came out to do. They won through the upper bracket. They are going to Vegas, and they're going to be fun to watch in just 2 weeks' time.
This is where I try to jump in the game to see if anyone will play with me, but it looks like everyone left.
Yeah.